Hey loves, and welcome to Heart Love Messages. My name is Crystal. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are already subscribed here, welcome back. Just a quick message before we get into the reading. All personal readings will be closing on April the 30th. So this will be the last opening until further notice. All readings are also still 50% off. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find all that information in the description box below, as well as in that very first pinned comment, okay? But let's go ahead and get into it. I have a spiritual guidance message for the collective. I'm going to be pulling from this deck here just to see what are the most important messages that your guides have for you at this time, okay? So let's go ahead and get a very clear and concise message directly from your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual team, and your higher power. Okay, so the first message that we have here is spiritual interference. Wow. If this video found you, I'm getting very clearly that the spiritual realm works on your behalf. So you are the type of soul who is walking a really, really narrow path. Your life in general is an isolated situation. And I'm getting that you know this, collective. You know that you have a very, very special layer of protection when it comes to the way that you move about in the world. So you are the type of soul that doesn't really have to do much because the spiritual realm is keeping score, okay? You have a lot of angelic energy around you. You may have some very heavy hitters in the spiritual realm when it comes to your angels, your ancestors. But the way your energy is coming through, there could be something happening in your life right now where your guides are about to step in on your behalf. So if you're in this place, collective, where you are deciding if you want to take action, if you want to return energy, if you want to seek revenge, or if there's just a really chaotic type of energy in your field, it's almost like your guides are telling you to stop. They're telling you not to take action. So maybe this is something that you were seeking confirmation on as far as your next move, or as far as how you should deal with some type of energy in your life that may be low vibrational. This could be a person, a place, or a thing that's just leaving a really bad taste in your mouth right now. I'm getting very, very clearly your guides do not want you to take action, okay? And it's because you don't really have to. The type of rank that you have doesn't really require you to involve yourself in certain situations. So I feel like this is a message that's going to be very, very specific. You should already know if this is your message or not, because I'm getting that you're dealing with something that is making you feel extremely reactive. But because of your path or because of your soul, I don't feel like that would be the best choice for you, okay? Let's get the next message here. Wow. The next message that we have is you were actually protecting me. I feel like this is tapping into your environment, okay? How you're being perceived from the outside looking in. I'm picking up on the energy of someone who is afraid of you, collective. I mean, whoever this person is, they are terrified because they don't know the type of spiritual backing that you have. This person completely underestimated you. From the outside looking in, you appear to be harmless. But what a lot of people don't know about you is that you hold a very, very high spiritual rank. You are a soul who is deeply respected in the spiritual realm. So with this card here, I'm getting this energy of warning comes before destruction. Whoever this person is, they were absolutely warned about you, but they completely ignore all the warning signs. So this definitely feels like a provoking spirit. You know, someone who's trying to get under your skin, someone who could be trying to garner a certain reaction from you. Almost like they're testing you for some reason, collective. Maybe this person doesn't even have a reason. But this card here is really speaking to a very, very humbling truth that just came to the surface about you. And the truth is that your silence, the way that you're carrying yourself, is actually protecting them. This is why your guides do not want you to react, okay? Because your avoidance or your dedication to being the bigger person in this situation is actually a form of protection for this person who is probing you, who is annoying you, or who is trying to come up against you in some kind of way. But because of the spirit that's attached to this person, it's almost like they keep ignoring these warnings that they're getting about you. But your spiritual team just made their presence known. There is heavy spiritual interference in your life. And if you pay attention to the next series of events, this is going to become very, very prevalent to you. So, whoever this person is, they are terrified because you're non confrontational. But they have no idea that you being non confrontational is actually a part of your path in some way. You don't really have to exert a lot of energy because the spirit realm moves on your behalf. Okay? So someone is completely shook right now. This person deals in the 3D in the physical realm, but you deal in the 5D in the unseen realm. So this person could literally feel restless. Maybe their sleep is being interrupted. Maybe they're like looking over their shoulder. I don't know what this person did to you, collective, but this is only unfolding this way because I'm getting very clearly they were warned to leave you alone, to get out of your way, to stop provoking you. They were sent so many signs about you and how to handle you. And I'm getting they ignored every single one. Okay. Wow. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have here is 555. There is a massive shift that is on the horizon. Anytime this 555 energy comes through, it points to massive change. But not just any change. This is the type of change that shifts an entire dynamic. I'm even getting for this particular situation, it may completely eradicate a whole timeline. And there are multiple energies coming through with this card here. So this could be pointing to a group, okay? A group of people. This could be a family. This could be a work setting. However this is manifesting, there's a group of people who were deeply challenged just by your energy. I'm getting that you stepped into a group dynamic, collective, and you expose the entire group or you expose the entire environment. So a lot of people have hidden feelings about you. It's almost like they don't know how to take your energy. And what's so interesting about this is that you're not doing anything specific. You're just being yourself. And without you even exerting a lot of energy, people feel slighted by you. People feel exposed by you. But because you're walking a very, very specific path, it almost feels like God placed you in this environment to do exactly what it is that you're doing. But there's definitely this energy of exposure here. So maybe you're bringing a lot of truths to the light. Maybe you being in a certain environment or being in certain rooms exposes the darkness, exposes the secrets. There's something about your energy that enforces change. And for some of you, you already know this about yourself, okay? You already know that because you have this very, very powerful energy, you make people feel a certain way. You evoke a certain response from people that makes people feel exposed because you're shining a light on them in a way that it's never been done before. So I definitely feel like I'm tapping into a soul who is an inherent truth teller, okay? You're here to shatter timelines. You're here to walk into places and shift the entire dynamic. But it's so interesting how this plays out in your life because, again, you come off harmless. You may come off naive. You may come off as if you are completely oblivious to what's happening around you, but you are the one who is affecting all of this change. Okay? But yeah, 555 energy is very, very powerful. So if you're seeing this number, this is definitely a confirmation. Your only job was to walk into this place. Your only job was to walk into this dynamic. And the minute that people begin to respond to you, your spiritual team acts on your behalf. Okay? So if you're seeing this number, it definitely feels like this spiritual interference is already beginning to manifest. Let's get the next message here. Okay, so the next message that we have is heart chakra. And I'm getting the word target very, very clearly. So if you're wondering, collective, what is it about you that makes people respond to you in this way? What is it about you that really, really gets under people's skin? It's your heart space, okay? And I keep being drawn back to your appearance, your physicality, okay? A lot of people underestimate you, collective, and it's because of the way that you present. But they have no idea that all of this is spiritual. There's a higher purpose for all of this. Your physical form deceives a lot of people because you have a clean heart. And when you have a clean heart, it shows up in your looks, it shows up in your self-concept, it shows up in the way that you carry yourself. But this can definitely be a double-edged sword because some of the most powerful beings on this planet are walking around looking harmless. They look naive. I'm even getting for some of you, you may look way younger than you actually are. It's because of your heart posture. It's because of no matter what it is that you've been through on your journey, you have managed to keep your heart clean. So a lot of people may see you and think that you are an easy target because you don't wear the weight of the world on your shoulders. You don't look like what you have been through. But for your energy to be coming through as someone who has such a powerful spiritual team, I mean, you have heavy hitters in the spiritual realm. This is indicative of who you are as a soul. But people around you may definitely feel like they can try you, they can probe you, because they have no idea what you had to go through to be you. So this may be manifesting in many different ways for you, collective. But I'm getting very, very specifically. You stepped into some type of dynamic and you completely shifted everything. Okay? Your light was so bright that you exposed a lot of darkness. And it feels like these are these energies, these entities that are trying to come towards you because of that. But they have no idea how powerful your spiritual team is. They definitely thought that it would be easy to come against you, but they're wrong. This is why you have people terrified, because they're realizing that they were relying on a faulty system. They're looking at the illusion. They're looking at the 3D. They're looking at the physical world. So now they're terrified because they're realizing that you were actually protecting them from something that they couldn't see, from energies that they would never see coming. And for your spiritual team to be coming through so heavy in this reading like this was a deep betrayal, okay? This could have been a group of people or a person who was trying to stand in your way, someone who did something to you that was completely unprovoked. If this was a work situation, this could be someone who's trying to affect your livelihood or how you take care of yourself. This is deep. This was a deep spiritual violation. And I'm getting that whoever this person is or this group of people are, they only did this because they thought you were an easy target. But they were mistaken, because some of the most spiritually protected and highly ranked souls are able to move about in the world the way that they do because they have a clean heart. So you have so many people terrified right now because they definitely did something to you that was completely unprovoked. And now they're about to face the consequences for that, okay? Let's get the next message here. Wow. The next message that we have is walking karma. Whoever these people are, they really, really messed up. Okay? This energy is very, very specific. You are their karma. You are literally walking karma. And this energy came out in the previous reading that I just did. It was a love message. So if you're resonating with this message so far, you might want to go watch the previous reading I did if you haven't already. It could be connected because I feel like this is also tied to that Uranus and Gemini energy as well. There is something that God wants a specific group of people to understand about you, okay? It's like God wants them to really, really deeply get these facts or get these truths embedded in them when it comes to you, collective. And while we're under this transit, which is going to unfold for the next 7 years, it feels like there are very deep truths about you that are going to get exposed that may shock a lot of people. And it's only going to shock them because these truths have been hidden in plain sight. You are the type of soul who does not lead with your power. That keeps coming through clearly. You may be very beautiful, very handsome. You may present in a specific way that makes people think that you are harmless, that you are naive, that you are green, that you are not well read. There is something about your disposition or the way that you carry yourself that has a lot of people confused. And it feels like God is here to clear up this confusion for you, collective. But the way that this is going to unfold over the next couple of years, it's going to be completely spiritual. These are truths that are going to come to the light that you don't even have to express. It's going to be shown. Almost like information is being pulled from the 5D into the 3D without you having to do anything. But I'm getting very specifically that you were placed in certain groups or in certain dynamics to do exactly what you did, to expose the truth. And because you did that, you have a lot of people upset with you. You have a lot of people who were throwing energy your way completely unprovoked. But now the tables are turning because they're realizing that you were actually protecting them from something that they couldn't see, from a power that is far beyond the physical. And this is why you're so protected, collective, because you are walking karma. It almost feels like God sent you on some type of mission to go into these places, maybe to date certain people, to befriend certain people, just so that you can bring certain things to the light. But again, it's like a double-edged sword because it's almost like these people cannot see your purpose until this 555 energy is manifested, until there is a major shift, until the timeline is completely eradicated. Then these people stop and have this aha moment that you were actually protecting them, that you were actually sent to shine light on their darkness. But again, because you have a high spiritual rank, a lot of people are deeply confused by your presence. And it doesn't help that you present in a way that is very, very different from who you are spiritually. So even though this feels like a big event that's about to take place, it honestly feels like this is something that's going to continuously roll out while we're under this transit. There are some very, very powerful truths that God really, really wants people to know about you and the role that you play in this lifetime. Okay? Let's get the last message here. Okay, so the last message that we have is you are so dangerous. Wow. I feel like this is a confirmation, a major, major confirmation to completely wrap up this whole message. But to be completely honest, collective, I feel like this is also a warning for you, okay? You have to be careful of your thoughts, collective, and how you interact with people because your guides do not play about you. You look harmless, but you have an entire army behind you. You may look very young, you may come off very charming, very nice, you may be very beautiful, very attractive, but you are dangerous in the 5D, okay? So I feel like this is your guides really trying to let you know that the way that you interact with people or the way that you problem solve or you deal with conflict, it has to be very intentional. You honestly feel like the type of soul where you have to just remove yourself. You don't have to do much. But because your energy or your presence is so polarizing, because you expose a lot, because you have a very powerful energy, people may try to come towards you and bring their energy and project onto you so much that you may want to return their energy. But I'm getting very clearly, you don't really have to do that, because without you even saying anything, without you even directing any energy to anyone, you have people terrified, okay? You have people coming to the conclusion that your silence, the way that you move, the way that you carry yourself, your class, your ability to detach is actually protecting them. So if there is anyone in your energy field who has been causing you strife, who just has a very provoking spirit, it definitely feels like your higher power is about to reveal the truth of who you really are in the spiritual realm. And it's definitely going to bring a lot of balance to your life, but it's also going to shift a lot of timelines, especially with this 555 energy. If you've been going through any type of difficulty, especially in a group dynamic, within your family, within your friend group, at work, that entire timeline is going to be eradicated, okay? You are being removed from that space. And the minute that you are removed, it feels like a lot of these truths are going to be revealed. So if you're at this place, collective, where you're wondering, why do people respond to you the way that they respond to you? It's because of who you are in the spiritual realm. Not only that, it's because of who you have behind you in the spiritual realm. So I'm going to go ahead and end the reading here. If you resonated with this message, please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to head over to Patreon just to pull 3 more cards to see if there's anything else that your guides want you to know specifically about this situation or this energy. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.